Yeah.
Some members in parliament had wanted the allocation for the president's Meet the People tour pass untouched, but unlike the draft constitution, this proposal was not going to be blocked. For iAfrica News, I am Daisy Say.
Gambian parliamentarians continue debate on 2021 revenue and expenditure budget. Now moving to matters of the TRRC, a former Director General of the National Intelligence Agency on Thursday appeared before the Truth-Seeking Commission to narrate the cruelty he saw and suffered from in the hands of intelligence operators under the 22-year dictatorship of Yahya Jammeh. The NIA, as the agency is widely known by its acronym, was a very brutal organization that allegedly tortured, disappeared, and even killed people. Kasim tells us more.
BADJIE, who would later become the Director General of the NIA, saw firsthand the maltreatment NIA operative inflicted on suspect when he first went there in 2007. Once he was asked by former Army Chief Langtombong Tamba to escort Army officer Sam Kabai to the NIA headquarters, but what he saw was shocking. Sam was an officer of the Gambia Armed Forces from the 2nd Infantry Battalion in Farafenni who was accused of selling weapons to the rebels in Casamance, southern Senegal. BADJIE had returned to see Sam at the NIA headquarters the next day and found that he was severely beaten.
Because I mark yes, because the beating left marks on his body.
Did it leave any lacerations?
Yes.
And did you see any blood on him? Or did he look bloody?
Yes, there were blood, some bits of blood on his body, but what one can recognize was that some parts of his body were swollen and some parts were bruised and so on.
To call it by its proper name, it appeared to you that he may have been tortured.
Yes, he was tortured. I agree to that.
Before he fell a victim of the NIA, BADJIE, as director of the notorious intelligence agency, had tried to reform. So he told his subordinate to stop the illegal arrest and torture because the NIA, in his view, was becoming a place where agents settle scores with people they had personal differences.
Official ning NIA official ni molka dunyola ke mutaye arrest ye sambana. What I also said to them was that I heard that people have problems when people have problems with each other, and even if people have problems with the NIA, they are arrested and brought to this place here.
And
that's something which I will not accept. Because if anybody has a problem with somebody else, national issue, which is not connected to any national issue, police will take the matter to the police. That's a civil matter. Because it's a civil matter. But this place will not be a place where you detain people on personal matters.
Mr. BADJIE,
I will not take that.
You said all this because you realized that the NIA was illegally detaining people, correct?
Yes.
But he will later suffer the same fate of cruelty as NIA Director General when he was accused alongside former Army Chief Langtombong Tamba of planning to overthrow the Jammeh government in November 2009. BADJIE was also a soldier and served as the Director of Military Intelligence and Security between 2005 to 2008. For iAfrica TV, I am Fatoumata Kasim.
Victims of torture under the then President Yahya Jammeh's regime continue to appear before the Truth Commission to give accounts of their ordeal. We'll now go with a short commercial break and continue with the rest of our stories. Stay tuned.
For the longest time, the people of Kiang have been living in darkness, accessing electricity a far-fetched dream, limiting access to amenities that ensure a comfortable life. Having access to electricity will not only improve the living standards of the people of Kiang, it will equally boost the socio-economic conditions of the residents of the area.
Inga dunu bala bonde ndeka 3,000 liters of gas oil use every month. Kura I can be na fa.
Komba ko la balu kura fali nyame na futa jamfana be jam mol fana la balu fali na wala nyame.
Days are gone when students would use candle lights and kerosene lamps to study.
My name is Fatmanya, a student of Queen Al Senior Secondary School. I'm happy because we have electricity in our village here. And the benefit is at that time we used candle to study, but as now you can see we have electricity. We have a light so we can use it to study well.
Days of darkness are gone, and with light comes prosperity and development. Join President Barrow on Saturday, November 28, to switch on the light in Kiang. Join the people of Kiang to celebrate a historic development, a promise made to the people of Kiang in fulfillment under the electricity expansion project anchored on 2017. Promises made, promises kept.
Welcome back. You're still watching GAMBIA24 and to the rest of our stories. The Gambia has on Thursday validated the National Action Plan for mainstreaming gender in energy access as part of efforts by the sub-regional bloc ECOWAS to promote gender equality in the energy sector. The West African community is promoting energy development through equal access to resources and contribution in this decision-making process that seeks to shape and expand the energy sector in member states. Details of that in this report. The inequality rates between men and women in the production of energy services in West Africa remains a pressing challenge. Women in most instances are less represented in the energy sector, thereby suppressing their demonstrable capability to strive in the sector. But a 5-year national action plan for the Gambia, which was validated on Thursday, is geared towards addressing gender disparities in energy production.
Equality between men and women with regards to energy provision in the Gambia is not only seen at the end users level, it is also evident in the production and supply of energy services. Although women have demonstrated the capability to strive with remarkable success in the energy sector, barriers still exist that continues to hinder women from exploiting their full potentials as energy producers and suppliers in the energy services. I strongly believe that an energy sector where women's human capacity is not appropriately harnessed and utilized cannot achieve their target set in the Sustainable Energy for All Action Agenda 2030.
Since the adoption of the ECOWAS policy on mainstreaming gender in energy access in 2016, the Gambia as a member state has received technical assistance for the implementation of the project at national level. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Petroleum and Energy Lamin Camara, hailed the Sub-Regional Economic Bloc's initiative as important.
Our sub-regional body, as one of the organizations very proactive in the energy sector, was among the first group of organizations to advocate for mainstreaming gender in energy access. Through its agency called ECOWAS Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency, ECRE, ECOWAS developed a program on mainstreaming gender in energy access called ECOWGEN, a flagship program being implemented by ECRE with the goal of addressing barriers to the equal participation of men and women in the expansion of energy access. ECOWGEN aims to factor in the differing needs of men and women in the planning and execution of clean energy projects and programs in the ECOWAS region to enhance universal access to energy services.
As the National Action Plan for Mainstreaming Gender in Energy Access is being scrutinized, officials at the Ministry of Energy said the document is in line with the government's overall policy goal for sustainable energy for all. For iAfrica TV, Sohna Tunkara.
And from that report, the Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture Tuesday continued his nationwide tour of rural tourism projects and infrastructure. Tuesday's leg, the 6th day of the tour, took Hamad Bad to some lodges in the Fonyi districts of the West Coast region of the Gambia. Fatmata Kasim has the rest of that story.
Tourism Minister Hamad Ba visited Bintang Lodge and Apkars Creek Lodge on Tuesday. Apkars is an eco-lodge with a fully equipped conference hall to host meetings, workshops and retreats in an environmentally friendly area and with accommodation of top standards. Hamad Ba said the government is trying to put in place new policies to develop a system that will promote Gambian tourism in the sub-region and also within the Gambia.
The government is trying to bring new policy to develop a system to promote the Gambia in the sub-region. We will also promote Gambia inside the Gambia so that the Gambians can go out and visit other places, which will be important to them too. I think that will take us forward because we are all in this together. The reason why we are in a dilemma today is because the tourism sector is not flourishing as it should be. All these projects are funded by the government. Tourism and culture is very important for the country.
Hamad Ba also appealed to the media to portray the good side of the Gambia. He said this will make more people interested in visiting the West African nation for their holidays.
Selling your country doesn't only depend on the ministry. What we can do is to put in policies, but you, the media personnel, the rest is in your hands, because whatever you report on, that will reflect on the country. If you report negatively, it will reflect, and if you report positively, the same will reflect. When we put in policies, and you did not take a nationalist and patriotic point of view and say beautiful things about our country, we can have our differences, but when it comes to the country and the good of the country, so that people will come and see the country, because whoever comes will bring and take something along which is beneficial for us. Only the government can't promote the country, but the citizens are also important because they are everywhere.
After touring the facilities of the Apkars Creek Lodge, the Minister of Tourism said government tourism stakeholders are willing to partner with the management to promote rural tourism. For iAfrica TV, I am Fatmata Kasim.
The Gambia's Minister of Tourism continues his ministerial tour on rural Gambia tourism sites. Well, that was all on Gambia24 with me, Sohna Tunkara. You can continue watching our programs on www.iafrica.tv. Until then, good evening.